Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to today's episode where we're diving into the world of GSA schedule contracts and how companies can really get the most out of them.
Yeah, GSA schedules might sound dry, but they're actually a huge deal for businesses wanting to sell to the government.
Absolutely. I think a lot of companies underestimate the complexity behind getting a GSA schedule and then actually using it well.
Right? It's not just about getting on the schedule. It's about maximizing the value once you're there. Why do you think so many businesses struggle with that?
I think some companies get the contract and then expect the sales to roll in automatically, like magic.
That's so true. The build it and they will come approach doesn't really work in the GSA world.
No, it doesn't. You have to be proactive. For starters, understanding how the GSA schedule system works is crucial.
Exactly. And let's not forget about compliance. The requirements can be tough to keep up with.
Yeah, the government loves its paperwork, right? If you slip up, you can face penalties or even lose your contract.
Speaking of compliance, do you think companies should have someone dedicated just to managing their GSA schedule?
That's a great question. If you're serious about government sales, it's smart to have at least one person focused on it.
Or even work with consultants, right? Because the rules and updates change constantly.
Yeah, consultants are like having a GPS for navigating government contracts. They help you avoid dead ends.
Let's talk about marketing. Once you're on the GSA schedule, how do you actually get noticed by agencies?
Marketing is key. Just being listed isn't enough. You need to actively market your products or services to government buyers.
That could mean attending government-focused trade shows or networking events, right?
Yes, and also leveraging digital marketing. GSA Advantage is like the Amazon for government buyers. You want to stand out there.
But it's crowded. How do you make your offerings pop?
Good product descriptions, competitive pricing, and high-quality images all help. It's basic e-commerce, but with stricter rules.
And I guess responding quickly to government inquiries is important too.
Absolutely. Agencies expect fast professional responses.
Sometimes it feels like the government moves slowly, but when they want something, they want it yesterday.
Exactly. And if you snooze, you lose.
What about pricing? I've heard that's one of the trickiest parts of the GSA schedule.
It is. Your pricing has to be fair and reasonable, and you need to maintain your rates as promised.
So, no sneaky price hikes, right?
Definitely not. And you have to disclose your most favored customer pricing so the government knows they're getting a good deal.
That transparency can be tough for some companies, especially if they have lots of private sector clients.
For sure. It forces you to be really clear about your pricing strategy.
Do you think it's worth it for small businesses to go after a GSA schedule contract?
I think so, but only if they're ready to commit the resources. It's not a set it and forget it deal.
Yeah, it's more like having a garden. You have to keep watering it, pulling weeds, and making sure it gets sunlight.
Nice analogy. And just like gardening, you might not see results overnight.
Let's talk about modifications. How often should companies update their contracts?
Regularly. If you add new products or services or want to adjust pricing, you need to process a modification.
And if you don't, you might miss out on opportunities or even run into compliance issues.
Exactly. Keeping your schedule current shows agencies you're active and reliable.
What about teaming or partnering with other contractors?
Great strategy. Partnering lets you offer more solutions and compete for bigger contracts.
So, you might be a small fish, but in a big pond, you can join a school and go after the big prey.
Perfect way to put it. Teaming agreements and subcontracts open up a lot of doors.
Have you heard of the GSA's contractor team arrangements?
Yeah, that's a formal way for companies to team up on government projects. It's a win-win.
Let's bring up reporting. How important is it to keep up with the sales reporting requirements?
Super important. The GSA requires regular reporting, and missing deadlines can cause big headaches.
And payment of the industrial funding fee, right? That's the GSA's way of keeping the lights on.
Yep, if you don't pay, you risk suspension or cancellation of your contract.
No one wants that. Let's talk about performance reviews. How can companies use them to their advantage?
Positive reviews boost your credibility with agencies. It's like Yelp for government vendors,
So, if you mess up, it sticks with you?
pretty much. But if you deliver great service, word gets around.
What about using data to drive decisions? Is that something GSA contractors should focus on?
Absolutely. Analyzing which products or services are selling helps you adjust your strategy.
So, if something isn't moving, maybe it's time to pivot or repackage it.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to tweak your approach.
Do you think technology is changing the way companies manage their GSA contracts?
For sure, there are now software tools that automate compliance reporting and even marketing,
That must save a ton of time. Less paperwork, more focus on growth.
right? But you still need a human touch to build relationships with agencies.
Speaking of relationships, how important is it to network with government buyers?
It's huge. People buy from people they trust, even in government.
So, regular check-ins, updates, maybe even a holiday card?
Sounds cheesy, but it works. Staying on their radar can lead to repeat business.
What would you say is the biggest mistake companies make with their GSA contracts?
Probably thinking the contract does all the work. You have to hustle to see real results.
And maybe underestimating the time and resources needed to stay compliant.
Yes, that too. It's not a side project, it's a real commitment.
If someone's just starting out, what's your number one piece of advice?
Learn the rules inside and out. Education is your best tool.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a lot of expertise out there.
Totally. The GSA offers webinars, and there are industry groups you can join.
Let's talk about scalability. How can companies grow their government sales over time?
Start small, build a track record, and then pursue larger contracts.
So, patience is key. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And every win builds your reputation.
Any thoughts on mistakes you see seasoned contractors make?
Sometimes they get complacent and stop innovating. The market changes fast.
So, keep learning, keep adjusting, and don't rest on your laurels.
Couldn't agree more.
So, to sum up, maximizing your GSA schedule is about more than just getting listed. It's about smart strategy, active marketing, and ongoing compliance.
And building real relationships with people and with the process.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, enjoying the ride, even when the paperwork feels endless.
If anyone listening is considering a GSA schedule, what would you say to them?
I'd say go for it, but go in with your eyes open. It's work, but the rewards can be huge.
Well put. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just that success with a GSA schedule isn't about luck. It's about effort, learning, and persistence.
Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, keep aiming high and don't be afraid to tackle the government marketplace.
See you next time, and remember, paperwork is temporary, but success is forever.
Thanks for watching. I'm Nancy, your AI avatar. If you like this podcast, you can get one for yourself based on a website, YouTube video, or any source. Contact me to get a customized quote for your content. See you soon.